Hey everybody, it's Pete. Good morning. Welcome to a new episode of today's Best Stock Picks. It's Tuesday morning, March 2nd, 2021, and pretty much what we expected yesterday. We said we're going to be reading the tape. We're going to be looking for some follow through. It was a good day to trade, but you kind of still felt like you had something pulling you down, even though there was some amazing opportunity. Hopefully you took advantage of Wayfair yesterday, easily one of the best stocks on the board yesterday. So we're going to put the pieces together again today. We're going to talk about earnings. That's actually going to be the focus of the beginning of today's video. We're going to talk about Zoom earnings. We're going to talk about Neo earnings and the different way that both of those earnings are playing out. And more importantly, how it's setting up for a trade over the next 3 to 10 days, maybe even a little bit longer than that. Electric vehicle stocks need to step up. They need something different to happen. And right now, it's not looking awesome. So especially if you're trading Tesla right now, you need to have that line in the sand. You need to respect risk. You need to differentiate your account on whether or not Tesla is a investment for you for the long haul, no matter what, and you have it at a good price, or you have to admit what the price is doing right now and really determine what your risk is going to be. Again, I keep bringing it up because there's a lot of Tesla zealots out there who just love the company, love the stock. Very similar to Apple back in the day, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. However, the market has more money than all of us. If it starts to pull against you, you need to understand where proper risk management is on those ideas. You can always get back in. There's no reason in the world to have your account wiped out just because you love the stock, know the stock, and believe in the stock. You have to believe in the price action, and that's really the most important part. So we have a few ideas today, but as far as earnings today that are scheduled, Target and Kohl's before the market open, as well as SE. After hours, we have Fubo and Nordstrom, JWN. So make sure that those are on your schedule for today. So again, we're going to get right into the charts. We had pretty much what we expected. We said we were looking for a higher opening. We were looking for them to hold the bid, which is what they did. However, we were very clear yesterday morning to say that one day is not going to be enough. We got a lot of good news yesterday. We got follow through. The market internals for the morning did exactly what they were supposed to do. So the VIX was going down. The ticks were going up. We were getting really good tick readings. Matter of fact, on the open yesterday, the tick readings was over 1,700, a gigantic number. And then it kind of flatlined the rest of the day. So what does that mean? What does it mean to read that tick indicator? It basically means that there were not more stocks upticking than downticking in the afternoon. And we kind of saw that in the afternoon where some stocks just kind of petered out at the end of the day instead of closing near the highs. So again, I'm not sounding the alarm, but I am pointing out what tape reading is all about, which means that you put the clues together and that should form your conviction. I actually had a question last night in our coaching call about why I'm not taking more swing trades, or why I didn't take all of the swing trades that we discussed yesterday. For the very reason that the futures markets are trading lower right now, I just don't have conviction in the long side right now. I want to be long. I am long. I'm just not long heavy because of what I'm seeing. I want to see volume to the upside increasing. And right now, we're actually going to point out on the SPY, which we pointed out twice, maybe even 4 times in the last 2 weeks. We now have 6 distribution days of heavier volume in the SPY over the last 5 or 6 weeks, which is not a good sign. Interest rates just creeped up just a little bit, and it spooked the market into 2 heavy selling days last week. That's something we have to keep an eye on right now. Look, I'm not saying we're nosediving in the other direction. I am saying that I am reducing my position sizing unless an individual stock is trading a little bit more aggressively. And when I mean aggressively, meaning the volume is there. It's doing what it's supposed to. So I just want to give context. That's really a big part, because one of the biggest challenges that newer traders have when they come into the community is they think every trade's the same and they just trade every trade with the same position sizing. And nothing could be further from the truth. Some deals are great. Some deals are okay, and you can still take them, but you would lower your position sizing. So we're going to head on over to the charts. I'm going to talk about what I'm looking at. So if you find these videos helpful, definitely give us a thumbs up. That will tell me that you like these kind of videos and you like the education that we provide also. And also let me know in the comments. Let me know what you like to talk about, and we'll have a conversation about that too. So we're going to head on over to the charts, and we're going to take a look at, we're going to start out with the SPY. And you can see here, these spikes in volume on the down days are really not what we want to see. So we actually drew trend lines last night, and we actually worked the charts a little bit in our coaching call last night. And essentially right now, the SPY stuck between 392 and 380. That's the box that it's in right now. That's the window that's going to determine if we have a continuation of the longer term bull run, or if the interest rate news from last week and some of these corporate earnings is going to scare the market. One big thing that was a positive yesterday was technology stocks finally woke up. I don't know if you happen to be watching Apple yesterday, but it was really nice to see it explode. But again, you can see not bigger volume yet. That's what we're looking for. We want to see increase in smart money activity. It was good. It was exciting. It was a good start to a new trade. Also, Square yesterday went from a bullish U-turn into a well-bid bullish gap. That's exciting. But again, it is the first start of a move in the new direction. So we had a couple of people ask last night about holding Square long overnight. I said, yeah, good start. But again, it's the start of a new move. There was a lot of news last week on Square with Bitcoin, also on earnings. So this was nice. A deep pullback gave us two signals, a bullish U-turn into a bullish gap into a well-bid candlestick. So again, you start to put these signals together. This is what we're talking about some stocks are doing exactly what you want them to do. Some stocks are doing okay. This is one that met all the criteria of exactly what we wanted to see, and a good question at the close. And you can see the stock's up another 3.5%. Speaking of Bitcoin, we talked about Mara and we talked about Riot yesterday. Not really perfect order flow, but a perfect catalyst, which is crypto and Bitcoin and how that is trading in conjunction. They're both in sync, obviously. Mara just changed their name yesterday. Be aware of that if you happen to look that up in your symbol. Some of the members of the community are having a problem finding it. Again, these are catalyst-driven specific stuff of crypto. They have to be in our list, and maybe they should be in your list as well. They're inexpensive. They have good volatility during the day, pretty good liquidity as well, so you can get in or out relatively quickly where you want to. But let's get into earnings. Let's talk about NEO. NEO earnings were not the best in the world. You can see here on investors.com that mixed earnings report. And this is really the theme that we're seeing. We had, again, we had a question last night in the coaching call about industry groups and sectors. And I'm telling you, that is where the majority of the easier trades are hiding, when a lot of money is flowing into the same sector. Right now on the charts, a lot of money is flowing out of this sector. So we're just going to point this out here. If we go to Tesla, we go to LI. Well, LI is actually one of the fewer ones that actually posted decent numbers. And XPEV, just to stick with some of these leaders, you can see that none of them are pointing higher. And specifically, we talk about NEO because we like to watch it on the weekly chart as far as determining order flow. You can see that the stock over the last, let's call it 2021, has either gone sideways or down. That's not a good sign. We talked about it yesterday. NEO Day was kind of like the sell the news day, and the stock has really done nothing since then. In order for me to want to be involved in this again, I am waiting for the weekly chart to be well bid if I'm going to buy it. And quite honestly, I might be starting to get ready to sell it short. It's not really in sell short mode because the weekly chart is now an inside candlestick after last week's heavy selling. But I am not looking to be a buyer right now. I don't see the catalyst for me to want to get in there and say, I really believe that within a week, within 2 weeks, within a month, the stock is going to be higher unless something changes. So until that changes, this still has bearish order flow for now, okay? Opposite of that is Zoom. Zoom actually had really good numbers yesterday. It's up 8.5%. Yesterday after it closed, it was trading over 450, which was good because that's the level that we're looking at here. So it's basically trading right there. I think that if Zoom holds the bid today, meaning it stays above 440 in that 450 level, 500 is very realistic to be on the table. They surprised with guidance. If you're ever listening to earnings reports, you're paying for the future numbers, not for the past numbers. So if you're buying today, very much like we talked about last week with Kathy Woods buying Workhorse, she's not buying the numbers right now. She's buying where she believes it's going to be in the future. The stock market discounts the future. So if you're buying today, you're looking for the future. And Zoom's guidance was good. Guidance means it going forward. That's why I believe 500 will end up being the next level that I'm looking for here, as opposed to stagnating in this trading range. Speaking of trading ranges, another stock about earnings, Rocket Mortgage. I want to say probably about 2 months ago, we talked about the earnings yield on this stock, and it was actually high. I think it was close to 20%, but the stock continued to stagnate sideways. Seems like the earnings this week finally woke the stock up. They're holding the bid. It closed near the highs yesterday. It was good volume. 24 was the level that we're watching, and now it's well above 24, trading close to 27. This stock has worked its way into my list for a little bit longer term position trade. Definitely something to keep an eye on today. A couple of stocks I want to talk about in case you didn't catch it yesterday. Wayfair did more than double what it normally does. A normal day in Wayfair was $23. Today was yesterday on Monday, it was actually $50 in one day. Looking for some day trading follow through there, not a new swing trade if you didn't get yesterday's entry. And we had a very specific signal that one of our members, John O'Connor and Nancy, discussed yesterday, hit that number and took off. Really, really good job by the community yesterday. One other one I want to talk about today is VUZI. Again, sticking with the theme of knowing what you need to see and seeing that follow through. We actually got that follow through yesterday, and we are looking for continued push down a little bit this morning, and that's a big thing. The futures are down today early. It's 3 hours before the market opens, so nothing to panic yet as far as thinking we're reversing. However, again, you put the pieces together, and none of this should be shocking to you. So if you were in our coaching call last night asking why I didn't have a lot more swing trades, this is why. We're not out of the woods yet. We're not seeing the accumulation. We're not seeing the smart money fuel push these stocks higher for more than just one day. I was very clear about that. And this is a big part of really making money over time, over 12 months, so, over your career, is really understanding when to step up, and you should have more size, and when you can see a good idea, but not necessarily with full position size. Last but not least, I want to finish up with DraftKings, and I want to finish up with Penn. They're kind of trading in sync with one has good news, the other one actually rallies. We were watching Penn yesterday at 120. That's been the level that we've been watching. We took a couple of trades over the last couple of weeks. Didn't get over one, got over 120, came back, got over 120, came back. Yesterday in the community, we were basically like, all right, let's let this thing get over 120 before we start to make a commitment. Finally got over 120, holding the bid yesterday, closing near the highs. So this stock has now worked its way back into the list after it was choppy. Stay away, let it get through there. DraftKings, interesting story, finally punched through to new all-time highs and closed well bid. So you got a bullish gap, new all-time highs, closed on the highs with good volume, looking for follow-through here as well. So one last one I want to discuss is WBC. Just popped its head above 70. Looks like it's going to open up strong as well. So there's a lot to be watching today as far as in the indices as well as in your individual stocks. You don't have to do hours of research. Just pay attention. Did smart money step up? What does that mean? Did the volume increase in the previous day? Did we close near the highs? Did we take out the previous day's high and that close be above the previous day's high? You start to put these clues together, and that's where the confidence comes from. That's where you start to feel secure in the decisions you're making, and you start to have conviction, not because you're predicting, because you're putting the pieces together and knowing what's probably going to happen next. Look, let's face it, nobody has any idea what's going to happen next week. Anybody who tells you that, they're full of beans. There's no other way to put it. However, we can stack the odds in our favor based on everything we see and expect follow through, and then just manage the downside and learn how to hang on to those winners. So a lot going on today, some positive price action. Not really ready to say, here we go. If we open lower and find a bid again today, then we're talking. Then we're going to start moving towards those all-time highs again, and that would give me just a little bit, we kind of move up on my conviction meter. And we'll see how that goes. We'll have that conversation as we go forward. So again, leave some comments below. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear about what type of content you'd like to see us produce. Give us a thumbs up if you like these videos, and absolutely subscribe so you get updates. So have a great day, everybody. I'll speak to you soon.